Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your October 2020 general tarot forecast. This is Sky here to talk about the energies coming in for your sign in October. So welcome back to the channel, Aquarius. I hope that you are all feeling all right. I know that things are a little bit crazy. You feel a lot of energy coming soon. It might not all quite be here yet, but you've got this like looming feeling of a change, probably more so than anyone else. It's like you've been in a dark cave for a long time, but after walking this like long, narrow, dark path, you can see that like glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel that is coming, but it's not quite here yet. You've still got a ways to walk before you get to that point. So this is when Aquarius is like really getting cinematic with things, I think. Really starting to visualize, really starting to think cinematically about the future goals, about how things could be. And isn't that just a magical place to be? You know, while you're running, while you're driving, while you're doing the same old contextual thing that we're all doing right now, just, you know, getting by, surviving 2020, you know, getting stronger, thinking about what we could be, but not quite connecting that yet. You're kind of the representative of that, Aquarius, like because Jupiter, Saturn are going to conjunct in your sign near the new year of 2021, which is going to be like this light at the end of the tunnel. It's all of a sudden things are going to change. All of a sudden there's going to be like this window of hope and possibility and optimism. But we've got to get there. And the events that happen now really determine how strong or weak that ends up being. Okay. So is there a little bit of pressure here? I think that there could be, and I think Aquarius feels it more than anyone. I think that you guys have a stroke of mad genius at this time, or it's at least, you know, the seeds of that being planted here. And yes, does it come through a bit of difficulty and a bit of grievance or a bit of tough choices? Probably. I mean, you guys have the Tower, Judgment, Six of Swords, Five of Swords, Eight of Swords. And contrarily, you have Queen of Cups, King of Wands, and Strength. So it's like kind of a mashup. But yeah, there are some tough things that you guys need to deal with. And it's kind of like getting that, I don't know, that like stewardly, like businessman, unstoppable, like confidence. Where, you know, it's not just a performance. It's not just a theatrical projection of who you want to be, but actually behind that you're getting knowledge and you're getting smarter. So in layman's terms, Aquarius, I think that intelligence and education and really learning new things is one of the best things for you here, so that you can start to introduce that to other people soon. But also just the acceptance coming into this month that yes, certain things might kind of fall through. Certain things might not be what you thought they were. You might really start to see, okay, I'm really accessing the past. And although that's contextual and that will reward you right now, you know that there are certain things that can't continue. And knowing what that is, but not pushing it away too quickly is an interesting art form for you guys right now, and I'm myself trying to understand how that works, and I hope that I am communicating it well. But ultimately, by the end of this month, you are walking out with like the strength and the creativity to do it. But it does take a journey and a progression, it feels like, to get to that point. Okay. So without further ado, Aquarius, let's look into this week to week. Before we do, I'm going to put together an extended reading on Patreon for you guys who would like to support the channel. Also, I have a new merch line out, which is another way to support the channel and also get something tangible. I know everybody likes to support in different ways, so I'm trying to make that as versatile as possible. But of course, just subscribing to the channel and turning on the bell notifications is so helpful too. But if you look below, you'll find the Patreon link and the merch link as well if you wanted to show your support for this effort. But anyway, Aquarius, week number 1 of October, the Tower rooted down by 8 of Swords. Okay, first week of October brings everything to a boil. Okay, every single issue, everything that needs to be resolved is going to be clear there. And there's kind of this tendency to like look down and cover our eyes and just kind of let it entrap us. I've gotten this for a lot of people lately where we're kind of like, I'm just going to let it fall where it falls. I'm just going to let things be how they end up being. Like a lot of us are so tired and so exhausted and so through with like this like money-based life or this this really pressure-based economic way of thinking, and that's making us just like want to be like, okay, it is what it is. I don't even care anymore. We're already detaching. Aquarius energy already coming October 2020, starting to feel a little bit detached. But that needs to be more empowering. Okay, it's not about covering your eyes. It's not about pretending that things don't exist. It's not about allowing yourself to be entrapped by what was once abundant. I mean, wow, Aquarius, this is like even making me think about my own life and about what we're preparing for. But what it is about is about letting things fall away that don't serve you anymore. And that sounds simple, but it might not be what you expect it to be. Okay, it might not be this thing that you're focusing so much on. There is a bit of an issue right now where some of us are focusing too much on things that are not problematic, okay, while certain things that really need a resolution are just kind of hanging in the balance. And that's kind of what I'm feeling for you guys in the first week. Really try to get as holistic a view as possible onto the breadth of your like life situation, okay? And it's like broad stuff, and that's what's hard with Jupiter and Capricorn right now, but it still kind of demands it of us, is that we can't just be like focused on these one little things and trying to make this one thing work. It's got to be broad. We've got to be focused on our health. We've got to be focused on our careers. We've got to be focused on our families. We've got to be focused on the future and how that could be different. And we've got to be focused on the context of the now too. And it does take a certain special kind of Aquarian person to be able to do all of that and to flourish under those circumstances. But basically the first week of October is going to recalibrate things, reset things, and that could be painful if you're like really holding on to things, or if you're really demanding to control certain experiences, or if you have a very clear idea of what everything's going to look like forever now. That could be chaotic, but I think that it ends up serving you in the long run. So yeah, that's definitely where a lot of our heads are at right now, and respectively where they should be. We have so much direct Capricorn energy, especially by the middle of the month, that we're thinking very long term. We're thinking very permanently about every decision. A lot of us are just so tired of these like small, perhaps inspirational, perhaps potential thought forms. We want things that we know will be safe. We want ensured safety. We want, especially Aquarians are wanting like a sense of guarantee. And we all kind of want that right now. But there's not really any guarantee after 2021. Like, again, it's still so undecided the way that things could go, the way that things could be. There's like a huge crossroads in front of us right now. So while I understand a need for safety and a need for really determining what a business or a relationship or the future looks like, we're all walking hand in hand with universe, with God right now. There's a need to just trust that path and to understand that it's been years and years that have led us to where we are now. So many things that have cultivated the reality that we see in front of us right now, and we just have to trust that it's right, and we have to trust that it's okay. Really healing trust, really always with the Tower, okay? In a reading, it's always going to target trust, because sometimes that's all that really gets us through, is the trust in something bigger than this situation, the trust that we're being led in the place that we need to be led to, and that just must be that. And pushing that even a little bit further, looking into that a little bit more, it's a really nice time to see what we are attracting in, okay? Because it could be chaotic. Like, maybe I'm just feeling for Aquarians, but also for everybody. Like, and again, like, y'all are really representing even more than your sign, because Aquarius is about to be like the center focus in a few months. So your messages are yours, but I think of a lot of people because it's very collective in general. What I'm seeing is that we're now not feeling comforted by what used to make us feel comfortable, okay? Comfort, security, safety, assurances, these things are gaining new ground already. Like, and it's early. It's kind of like things have come a little bit early, and it's not complete. This is going to get even more intense by the new year. But what I'm feeling is that it's okay to keep on keeping on right now. Like October of 2020, you don't have to change a thing if you don't want to. But January of 2021, a lot has changed. Do you guys get that interplay? And can you kind of feel that interplay within? Like, nothing really has to change right now, but knowing that within a few months, a lot has changed. So that what that kind of says philosophically is that through the release of pressure in the knowing that this doesn't have to shift right this second, it is allowing enough breathing room for certain energies and certain experiences and certain people to motivate and sort of mobilize in a more natural and restricted way, which naturally attracts in more natural, unrestricted experiences, which is a big change for a lot of us. And over time, that kind of becomes a change, even though we've not really tried so hard to change. Okay, this is gold. I mean, I hope that everybody listens to this reading, because this is like the brunt of what we're going through at a mass level right now. And in that, Aquarius, you might see, okay, I no longer need this addiction. I no longer need this coffee. I no longer need, these substances. I no longer need, and I've talked along these lines, but it's really great also to heal any type of addictions relating to electronics right now too, because Aquarius rules electronics. And when Jupiter and Saturn come together in those signs, there's probably going to be more of a focus on this. So it's good to do this a little bit early. But so any addiction to social media, and my phone just goes off. Okay. I tell you what, my phone is just blowing up so much right now, guys. Like usually it doesn't, but I think I've gotten more than 100 messages today. It's crazy. So any addiction to electronics, put them on silent. I'm putting mine on silent right now. And don't worry about it, because these things don't need to rule our lives. And it feels like these things rule our lives. Addiction to electronics, addiction to social media, addiction to YouTube, addiction to other things. We have to overcome these things. Okay, these things are not good. These things are, all of these aforementioned things must be really worked on. And it's not something to get freaked out about. It's not something to get worried about right this second. But I feel on one hand, so firstly, I feel that it kind of comes down to like privacy and what do you want to be known? What do you not want to be known? Do you want it to be like known how many hours a day you're on your phone? Or do you want it to be like, the algorithm to be like very intertwined with, every single aspect of your day? You'd be surprised about how much that already is the case, how much like the social media algorithms are influencing our realities. Like it's crazy. But even more so, it will be in the future. But it's just good to think about these things. I think Aquarius is the perfect sign to talk about these things with. But moving on with your week to week in October, Aquarius, in the second week, you have, Judgment rooted down by Queen of Cups. So yes, already from the first to the second week, you're spinning this differently. So all of a sudden you're seeing the empowerment that you're receiving from these more chaotic experiences. You're seeing the transformative nature of difficulty. You're seeing the transformative nature of betrayal, of entrapment of the past. And you're like alchemizing it all. Your sign is all about alchemy, okay? Queen of Cups is also about this. So rooting down Judgment is an alchemic ability to change how you feel about certain things. So in the second week of October, you might really see that you're just feeling differently about a lot of things. Like maybe this person that you could never get over, that you had a relationship with 3 or 4 years ago, maybe you're happy about that now. Maybe you're happy that that ended. Maybe this career that you wanted for so long, this salary that you wanted for so long, this, position in society that you wanted for so long, you have it perhaps now, and you don't think it's that big of a deal anymore. There's an alchemy of thought, an alchemy of feeling towards certain fixtures in your life that changes up a little bit in the second week, and this feels very liberating. And it moves you into the third week, 6 of Swords rooted down by 5 of Swords. It's chronological, moving backwards though, so you could actually regress just a little bit, but I don't think that it's bad. I think that it's expected in this type of situation. To understand how this shift happened, to understand why you now feel so differently about things, you might look at it from a previous perspective. But 6 of Swords is then about moving forward. It's then about the transitional phase of something. And that's where we're moving into Scorpio season too. So you are sailing right into Scorpio season with some incredible things on the horizon. But I will say in the third week, you want to maybe make this as personal as possible for yourself. Like, maybe don't share it with just everybody. Maybe don't, talk to all these people and think, well, what do you think I should do with my life? What do you think I should do with this. Five of Swords says that other people might have their own motivations more close to their heart than your happiness. So you're in a tender and I would say like vulnerable place in October, Aquarius. So you want to, I would say it's not about being guarded, because Eight of Swords sometimes can be like too walled off, but it's not so bad right now. And by the fourth week of October, it's fine to already branch out and bloom in this great new invigoration. But in the third week, you want to keep things safe and easy and to yourself, I would say. But week number 4, let's talk about it. That's beautiful. Transformation. Can you guys see from like the first week to the fourth week how much of a transformation this is? How much of a like really incredible progression you have? It's like complete confidence in the fourth week. Strength to overcome old tendencies. Some of you are overcoming an addiction this month. Some of you are no longer lovesick. Some of you are no longer still hurting over a betrayal of the past. Like, you know that the past is the past, and every single moment in the present you now wield to do what you want with your life. And it's like no longer does the past have this influence. You've got things to do. You're an Aquarius. You're building up to the new year of 2021, and that's like your time with Jupiter and Saturn about to move back into your sign. There's no time to be stuck in these like dark clouds, in these, bad moods or anything like that. There's no time for any of that. And you guys are like really getting optimistic. You're already early understanding what the new wave is going to look like for you. And yeah, that comes with a few beasts to tame. It seems like a few addictive cycles to tame, maybe a circadian rhythm to revamp, maybe a creative outlet to allow yourself access to again, okay? Doing your art again, doing your writing again, playing your music again, traveling again. It could be any of that for you guys. So what a wonderful note to end this message on. Keep it big, keep it bright, keep it flamboyant at the end of the month, Aquarius. I've really enjoyed this reading. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to put together an extended over on Patreon. You can click the center of your screen or it's linked below as well. We'll look at an extended central theme, 2 supporting themes, and also on Patreon I do weekly tea chats. You get these readings early and ad-free. You get all the extended readings, all the readings for your 1 monthly fee, and it's just such an incredible way to support this channel. It's what keeps this channel going, so thank you guys so much. Be sure to check it out. It's linked in the center of the screen now. There's new merch also available below, and I will talk to you guys later. Much love. Bye.